Welcome to the Top Trader South Africa YouTube channel. My name is Nobile Tambane and this is All Things Forex. And today we are coming through with a bit of a twist. We're not necessarily going to be talking about Forex things per se, but we're going to be going into cryptocurrency investing as well. And today I've got Tee Busa with me to come and have that conversation with me about that. Thank you for coming through.
Thanks, my man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, So if you could just go, how did you get involved with cryptocurrency investing?
It's really a funny story though.
Yeah.
I normally tell people, once people make it in certain industry, they don't want to really speak about their beginning. But I was actually in a bad space when I started, and I was online looking for something I can do to generate money online. I had lost my business, lost my property, moved around. And I was down and out, so I was looking for an opportunity to invest online, and that was in 2015, and boom, on my screen, Triple M came. So Triple M came, and I researched, and at that time it was good, everybody was happy, and there was this Triple M global account where people were investing in Bitcoins, So I got interested, but the first time I heard about Bitcoin was in 2014 from a cousin of mine who was involved with EP also. Okay. So they had started investing or making payments in Bitcoin. When he told me about it 2014, I went home, I researched, I got confused, man. It was too much for my brain. I said, let me leave this thing. So it came back to me again in 2015, but now I was desperate. I needed some income, and that's how I learned about Bitcoin initially, though I was involved with Triple M, but when it really collapsed, then I started digging myself deeper into cryptocurrency. Then I realized this industry is huge. It's as big as the internet. And I started learning more about blockchain technology. I started learning more about other coins beside Bitcoin. And I remember telling my wife, saying that, baby, this is it.
That moment right there.
I found what I've been looking for so many years. So basically that's how I started. And along the way, we'll talk about it as we continue with the interview. I learned quite a lot, and I'm still learning. So my background is IT, so it was easy for me to get into it and understand the technicalities of it, and I'm still studying and I'm still researching even more even today. That's how I started.
Okay, that's great. So I hear you say your background is IT. Does one person need an IT background?
No, unless you're gonna go really technical and deep, as I did. Cryptocurrency has complicated ways. There's many ways. There's about 4 main ways that you can earn in cryptocurrency. One of them being mining. And mining is a way whereby there is a complicated mathematical equation that is solved by computers. So back in 2010, you could mine Bitcoins with your laptop at home using your normal CPU, and but you couldn't do that later on. You certainly can't do it today. So you need sophisticated machines that can mine Bitcoin for you. So we moved from 2010 to about 2012 and 2014 when people were now mining with graphic cards. So that part, it requires some technicalities because there's some codings that is involved. But for a normal person, you don't need to. All you need is an exchange, more like a broker in Forex. So you can go into the exchange, buy your Bitcoin and keep it there, or move it to a safekeeping. So you don't have to unless you really want to get deep into the technology.
Okay, so can you just go a bit more in depth and explain to somebody who really doesn't know what cryptocurrency investing is exactly?
Well, cryptocurrency investing, it's like a buying and selling, right? So it's like what you're doing with Forex, but we are dealing with tokens, or we are dealing with coins. So initially what you are doing is you are buying a coin in the hopes that that coin will be valued at a higher rate than you bought it.
Yeah.
It's like you going out and buy a Kruger Rand. So when you go out and buy a Kruger Rand, you are initially buying a coin. And when you're buying that coin, you just leave it over time so that it generates value later on. Like I said, Bitcoin started in 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, it was less than 1 cent back in those days.
Yeah.
Right. So I got into the space in 2015, and my first Bitcoin that I bought was 3,000 rands. That was my first Bitcoin that I bought.
Yeah.
And you know what happened in 2017 December? One Bitcoin was 350,000 rands. So you can imagine buying one Bitcoin for 3,000 rands, and then it's now 350,000 rands 2 years later.
Sure.
So basically that's what it is. You are buying coins and tokens in the hope that later on they're going to be more in value. That's the simplest way I can explain it.
Okay, that's great. So obviously we know your Bitcoin was like the leading cryptocurrency out there.
Yeah.
So leading up to its high, the highest it's ever reached, I think it was December 2018.
17.
17. Leading up to that high right there, what was it like during that year, because I'm sure you must have had moments where you felt like, no, I need to take my money now while it was still going up.
Yeah.
What were some of the emotions you were going through that?
Yeah. Well, 2017 I was more experienced and I knew what I expected. Well, I expected Bitcoin to be at that time it was trading, I'll say it in dollars because I normally trade in dollars. So at that time it was trading at about $215, $230, $250. So I was expecting by the end of December Bitcoin to be $1,200. And how I got that amount is that it was the high that Bitcoin had in 2012. And then it plummeted down to about $200. So there's what we call, when we go into depth, there's what we call in cryptocurrency a cycle. It's a 3-year, 4-year cycle.
Yeah.
So what happens is that is powered by also another event that is called Bitcoin halving. So what happens is that every 4 years there's a halving that happens with Bitcoins. I spoke about mining. So in 2010, when you mined Bitcoins, every block that was released into the blockchain had about 50 Bitcoins. And then in 2012, that was halved. So that now there was 25 Bitcoins. And then in 2016, it was halved again. There was now 12 Bitcoins that were in there. And that's where we're sitting at. So we are now this year going into another halving. That's 4-year cycles.
Okay.
So every 4 years, Bitcoin is being halved. So the supply is reduced into half. And what happens is that event, it pushes the price of Bitcoin ridiculously. So I expected Bitcoin to, by December 2017, to at least reach the high that it did in 2012. I did not expect $20,000. So I knew that I needed to buy Bitcoins, and I started really my portfolio, really buying quite a lot in April of 2017. And I knew that if I can buy as many Bitcoins as I can, I know that one Bitcoin will be valued at $1,200 by the end of the year. But I truly did not expect that it will be 20,000.
Yeah.
Because my knowledge was also limited then, so I'm more experienced now. I'm more learned now into the industry. Even right now, it's a perfect time for people to buy Bitcoins.
Okay.
If I tell you the figures, you won't believe me.
Okay, no, that's great.
Yeah.
So obviously, what have been some of the pros and cons that you've experienced over the years with Bitcoin?
I think it was using Bitcoin prematurely instead of holding it, as using it as a store of value, instead of holding it and not using it. Those days, I mean, we were just excited. I remember my first Bitcoin card, it was from a company called Zeppo. and it was a black card. I was so excited that I can just go to a store and swipe my card. I say, hey, I spent Bitcoins. I didn't know that I needed to keep these Bitcoins. I would have had much more money. So I think that was my mistake that I did then, not understanding where Bitcoin was and where Bitcoin was going, but I was just excited, to just use those Bitcoins, which I'm not doing right now. So my Bitcoins, I'm not using them at all.
Okay. So do you have like a background in Forex trading, or do you have a background in Forex trading?
Sure. I started Bitcoin in 2015, and then 2016 I went into Forex. And I mainly wanted to learn how to read the charts, how to analyze, how to be a technical trader. And I think 2016, even though I studied with this company, there was a company in Sandton that I took a course with them, and then later on I met another Forex trader who was really doing well, and Ricky, so I took his course also, and I kept on learning more and more, but I was not profitable the whole of 2016. And 2017, I think that's when I started trading gold. And I really specialized in gold, and I really did good. I did well in gold, until somehow the market changed. What I used to do didn't do so well anymore. And then I thought to myself, let me take the knowledge that I've learned in Forex and put it to cryptocurrency, and I never looked back ever since. And that's what I've been doing.
Seems like it's like a great decision you took for yourself.
It was a great decision.
So when did you? So obviously you were part of the whole 2017 high thing. So obviously you made quite amounts of money from there. So after post that high, what was it like still being in like the cryptocurrency industry? Because obviously it dropped. So what was the sentiment you were feeling, or were you just not stressed about it, or what was happening?
Look, I made a lot of money in 2017. So the whole of 2018, I wasn't worried what was going on. I withdrew my money, I think in January 2018, when I saw that it was really, really, really plummeting, because I had invested in different coins. I invested in Bitcoin, I had invested in Ethereum, I had invested in a coin called Veg. Veg was my favorite coin. To give you an example how crazy this industry is, I normally speak about Veg because it was my smallest investment that I did. And I bought Veg in 2017. Coins, I think I bought about 250,000 coins, and they costed me 10,000 rands. And sometime in 2018, 10,000 rands was 800,000 rands. So it was crazy. And so I withdrew all of my investments when I saw that the markets were crashing. So I withdrew all of that. The mistake that I made is I withdrew into rands. And when you withdraw into rands, it means that you have to deal with the banks, and you have to deal with all these people that are coming. You have to deal with taxmen and all of that. But besides that, I didn't know then, now I know, I should have actually converted my Bitcoins or my cryptocurrency into stable coins. So stable coins, they are backed by US dollar. So they don't go up or go down. They are always one-to-one with the US dollar. So for example, the most famous stable coin is called Tether. So Tether, the value of Tether is $1. It will never go down, it will never go up. If it does, it's small fractions, like 0.001 cent. So I should have transferred and converted all of my cryptocurrency into a stable coin, so that when I feel that the market is now ready for me to buy back, I instantly buy back because now having to use rands again, converting rands to Bitcoin, you pay hefty fees. And the process is quite tedious and slow, because you have to send your money to an exchange, then you have to trade on the exchange, then you have to send your money. Then there was no exchange in South Africa that had Tether. So you have to send your money to an international exchange and then convert to Tether. And if the market is really moving quick, you can lose quite a lot of money in that process.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think post 2017, when the market was really crumbling, I wasn't investing, I wasn't doing quite a lot. I was busy with traditional business, doing some property business there and there, building my house. I'm in the process now of building my house. So I was busy with other things, traditional business, and say, hey, can I do some rental property? Can I do this? Can I do that? So that's what I was doing. And I think it is then that a lot of people lost money, because a lot of people bought in 2018, which was the worst time that you can buy, because we were taking our money when people were buying. So a lot of things happened.
Yeah, because I'm aware that a lot of people started only like hopping onto it after that high, thinking that no, we're still going higher.
Yeah, because it was the hype that was created in 2017, and because people, they were watching from the sidelines, if I can say that, and when they saw that this thing is blowing up, and they said, wow, let's get on, but it was the wrong time to really get on. That was the time to get off. I did teach a lot of people also. I've got also students that I'm mentoring even right now. So we always know when to get into the market and when to come out of the market, which is very important.
Okay, no, that's great. So like, how do you experience the challenges that a forex trader like tends to experience as well? Like, because you know how there are challenges that traders experience. Are you also experiencing the same things, or is it quite different in your industry?
It's not so different, I can say, for people, but as an individual, even in forex, I was a swing trader, and I found this to be less stressful for me. I didn't have to look at the charts all the time, so I didn't look at the chart anything below 1 day. I wasn't looking at it. So I was looking at my chart. I was always looking at 1 day, 1 month, 1 week. Even now, that's what I do with cryptocurrency. Even my students, I teach them that we are long-term investors. And it reduces stress even from them. They don't have to look at their computer screens every single day, because we find a point to buy and we relax. For example, this year we came back to the market when Bitcoin was 50,000 rands. And today Bitcoin is 132,000 rands, 130,000 rands. So we knew that we can come back into the market when Bitcoin was at around that price, because we knew that we are getting in at the lowest, that Bitcoin cannot go under that. So here what we are doing now is whenever there's a spike, Bitcoin goes up, and then it comes down like now, we buy the dip and we relax. Bitcoin was $9,000 a few weeks ago. Bitcoin is now 7,800. We are waiting for Bitcoin to get to 7,500. We buy the dip. We know that it's gonna go up probably to 10,000. If there's a spike at 10,000, we sell, we relax. So we are swing traders and investors. So I don't have a lot of emotional stress, if I can say it that way. So my type of investing is quite relaxed. Obviously, we will not work for somebody that is trying to make an income every single month. Hence, my students, all of them are working, and I told them, do not quit your job. It will be the worst mistake, because now you have to replace your salary. That now it means that you need to trade daily, and now the crypto is volatile, extremely volatile. If you're gonna trade within a day with a small account, you definitely going to lose. You're gonna lose your money. That's
okay, no, that's great. So now you're saying that cryptocurrencies are around over 100,000 rand for, moving to Bitcoin now. you say that one Bitcoin is around the value of 100 and something thousand.
130, yeah.
Yeah. So how does a person actually get involved now? Because do I need to have 100,000 rand to get into the industry, or how does that work?
No, you don't need 100,000. I normally explain it this way. Imagine that you want to buy pizza, but you can't afford to buy the whole pizza. You can always buy a slice of pizza. That's how Bitcoin is. You can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin. So if you can't afford to buy one full Bitcoin, you can always buy 0.1, or you can buy 0.002, 0.001, whatever it is that you can afford. So you are able to buy that. So if you've got 1,000 rands, you can buy a Bitcoin. If you've got 10,000 rands, you can buy Bitcoins. So what I normally advise my students to do is I tell them that if you've got 500 rands that you're not using every single month, with 500 rands, keep on buying Bitcoins every single month for the next 2 years, because we are looking for Bitcoin to be valued at $100,000 in 2022. That's 2 million rands in 2022, one Bitcoin. So I tell them that just keep on adding and keep on adding and keep on adding, and also other coins that we are looking as a team in our class. So we're not just buying Bitcoin, but there's other coins that we believe they have value. So those ones are cheaper. Most people, they say to me, I want to own a full coin, but I don't have 130,000 rands. Then I say buy Ethereum.
Okay.
Ethereum is 4,000 or whatever amount it is. I can't remember what it is now. So buy that. If you wanna go lower, buy Ripple. It's even. I did a seminar. Ripple. Okay. I did a seminar in 2017 in Sandton, and I remember that one of the coins that I was hinting out to people, I was saying buy Ripple. Ripple was 2 rands, I think, at that time.
Okay.
It was 2 rands, and Ripple experienced, I think at some point, it went all the way to 10 rands and 20 rands, So that's how easy it is. So I tell people, like the coins that we are buying now, they are 10 rands, other coins are 14 rands, so people are staking out on those coins. And we know that Bitcoin, it pushes the volume of all these other coins. When Bitcoin rises, these smaller coins, they rise. But Bitcoin can rise, for example, 20% or 30%. These smaller coins will rise 100% to 200% because they're still low in value. So if Bitcoin doubles, these coins 10 times. They do 10 times that. So that's what we're looking at. Hence my investment on Veg, 10,000 rands, 800,000 rands. It's insane, right? But that's how these smaller coins are. They move like that. But if you are caught up on the wrong side, as quickly as they move, that's as quickly as they go down. So you need to be careful and know which coins, because there's also a lot of pump and dump in cryptocurrency. So there will be certain individuals, especially these guys with big YouTube channels, they will pump a certain coin, speak about the coin and pump it, and a lot of people will buy it, and then they will dump the coin. See, when they sell, an ordinary person doesn't know that I need to sell. So today your coin was like that much, tomorrow 0.
Sure, that's crazy. Okay, cool. So how does one person actually get involved with cryptocurrency trading or cryptocurrency investing?
Well, you need to open an exchange, an account. I own one of the exchanges, so it's called Numi. So I'm a founder of Numi also. So what you need is, you just have to open an account. It's as easy as opening an email account, and you send in your verification documents for FICA for them, because we need to comply also with the FICA regulations and the banking industry regulations. So you send in your FICA documents, and then you deposit your rands, and then from there on you buy Bitcoins with the balance of rands that you have. So it's as easy as that. And you can choose to keep your Bitcoins into the exchange, or you can move your Bitcoins out to external storage for safekeeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's great. And how do people get a hold of like information or more information about all this cryptocurrency investing?
I tend to ask people, for example, for people that want to get free information, there's quite a lot of information on YouTube, a lot, you know. But as a beginner, you just need to know which is good information, which is bad information. So that's where a mentor will come into place. That's where you need a mentor to sift out all of the bad information. But if you're just looking for general information, I mean, if you go to YouTube and type what is Bitcoin, you know, 99% of the time you're gonna get accurate information about what is Bitcoin. But now when you start saying how to invest into Bitcoin, how to trade Bitcoin, then you're gonna get a variety of information, and you don't know which one is good and which one is bad.
Yeah.
And that's when you need to. One bad thing about our industry also, there's a lot of scammers. So because of the scams that happen around Bitcoin, people tend to say Bitcoin is a scam. But Bitcoin is not a scam. Bitcoin is a currency. It is a person who scams you. I can scam you with any currency. I can scam you in South African rands. But you can't say South African rands is a scam. So that's what the problem is.
Okay.
So because Bitcoin is still unregulated in most countries and it's anonymous transactions, so scammers found a loophole to scam people out of their money, because as soon as somebody promises you this and that, mainly scammers are all the same. Flashy cars, flashy houses, flashy this. And
much like the Forex industry.
So once you see such things, and people sending you inboxes, you know, what I'm about to say, my students can attest to that. I don't advertise my course. I don't. As a matter of fact, I prefer for me to have a small group of people, because I have attention. I can give my attention to those people. Because I don't depend on my course for income. I invest and I trade myself. So the number one flag that you can raise is people that inbox you. You know, somebody inboxes you, I've got this software, I've got this, I've got that. You can make so much money. You know, it's a big red flag for me. Because with Bitcoins, you send them or that person your Bitcoins and they block you. And that's it.
It's over.
It's finished. You lost your money. You know? So people, in order to get real information, you need to sort out and seek out. There's few individuals like myself who are out there, and we give out people genuine information. And I actually, on my Facebook account, I give people a lot of free information that is genuine. You know, and I feel that I'm obligated, you know, to do that, to lift up a lot of our African people. And my vision is to see as many Africans as possible owning at least one Bitcoin. And that's my goal and that's my vision. And I do that with doing seminars. I don't do quite often anymore. But I think I've been caught up with other things that I'm doing personally. When I'm done with those things, I'm going to go back again and really travel and do seminars and cause an awareness for cryptocurrency without expecting anything from the people, because this industry has taken care of me, and I feel like I need to give back to the people.
No, thank you very much for coming out. Thank you for the information. Well, just to close it off, do you have any advice that you might have for somebody who wants to get into this industry?
The best advice I can do: don't quit your job. Number one, because you won't believe how many times I get this question. I want to be involved in cryptocurrency. Can I quit my job? I said, no, don't do it. Make sure that you come into this industry. What I can advise them is also we deal a lot with the mind change, the mindset. Because a lot of people, they come here with a mindset that I'm gonna get rich very quickly, which is not the case. So we're building our portfolio gradually and slowly. And we know that eventually we're gonna make a lot of money. So what I'd advise somebody that wants to get into the industry, if you're working, keep your job. You know, buy Bitcoins with your extra money. Make sure that you don't quit your job, you don't make reckless investments, and seek out education. You know, that's what I can say. But the most basic free education I can say is to just buy Bitcoins, withdraw in 2021 or 2022.
Okay, no, thank you very much, guys. Guys, this is All Things Forex with myself. As you guys can see and hear for yourselves, we spoke about cryptocurrency investing today, and I was joined by Tee Busa today. You can find him on Facebook. It's Instagram
it's,
as well.
Tee Busa.
Yeah, but we'll leave all the information in the description below. And thank you guys very much for watching.